You know that feeling, right? You're about to click a link, and for just a second, you hesitate. You wonder, is this actually safe? Well, that's a feeling we all get, and in the next few minutes, we're going to replace that uncertainty with some real confidence. I'm going to give you a simple checklist that will help you stay safe online.
It's pretty wild when you think about it. Scam websites steal billions of dollars every single year. And here's the really tricky part. A lot of them look completely normal. They can look just like the real websites we use and trust every day. That's why spotting the little warning signs isn't just a nice skill to have. It's absolutely essential for being online today.
So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? How can you actually tell if a website is safe before you type in your password or your credit card? Whether you're trying to buy something or just log into your bank account, how do you know for sure? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out together right now.
And here's the best part. You don't have to be some kind of computer genius to do this. Not at all. We're just going to go through a really simple checklist, step by step. I promise, by the time we're done here, you'll have a clear plan to spot those warning signs and keep yourself safe.
Okay, before we get into any of the details, I want to give you one simple safety rule. This is the most important thing to remember. If a website ever pressures you or tries to scare you or makes you feel rushed, just leave. Close the page. That's it. No questions asked.
And there's a really good reason for that rule. You see, scammers use urgency to get you to act before you have time to think. They want you to panic. Because when we panic, we don't think clearly, we just react. And that's exactly what they're hoping for. They want you to click that button before that little voice in your head has a chance to say, hey, wait a second, does this seem right?
Okay, let's dive into our checklist. First up, check number 1, look for the padlock. This is the very first, most basic safety check for any website you visit. We're talking about that little lock icon you see at the top of your browser. So, if you look up at the very top of your screen, in the address bar, you should see that little padlock. And the website address itself, it should start with HTTPS. That S at the end is super important. It stands for secure, and it basically means the conversation between your computer and the website is private.
So what does private or encrypted really mean? Well, think of it this way. A secure website, one with that S, is like sending a letter in a sealed envelope. Only you and the person you sent it to can see what's inside. But a website without the S, that's like sending a postcard. Anyone along the way can just flip it over and read everything on it. Not so private, right?
Okay, but this is really, really important. Just because you see a padlock doesn't automatically mean the website is honest. These days, even the bad guys can get a padlock for their fake websites. So think of it as just the first step. You absolutely need to see it, but it's not the only thing we're going to look for.
All right, on to check number 2. Read the website address slowly. After you've checked for the padlock, the next step is to look very carefully at the actual web address. Why? Because scammers love to hide their tricks in the small details.
See, they're counting on you to be in a hurry. They do all sorts of sneaky things, like they might swap out letters for numbers. Think Amazon with the 0 instead of an O. Or they'll use letters that look similar, like the number 1 instead of a lowercase l. Sometimes they'll even add extra words to make it look official, something like applesupportlogin.com. It's so easy to miss if you're not paying close attention.
This is why it's so important to just slow down and actually read the address. And here's a great tip to avoid these traps completely. If you get an email, say, from your bank or your favorite store, don't click the link in the email. Instead, open up a new fresh browser window and just type in the website address yourself. That way, you know for sure you're going to the right place.
Okay, for check number 3, we're going to look at the design of the website itself. Does the website just look professional? You don't need to be an expert here. This is all about using your own common sense. Just take a look around the page. How does it feel?
Think about it. Big companies spend a ton of money to make their websites look good. Scammers? They often throw things together quickly, so be on the lookout for red flags like, spelling and grammar mistakes all over the place. Or maybe the company logo looks blurry and weird. Or the whole page is just messy and disorganized. And a big one, you try to click on a button or a link and nothing happens.
And again, you don't have to inspect every single little thing. You're just looking for anything that feels off. If you see even one of these red flags, that's enough reason to just leave. It's better to be cautious.
Now for check number 4. We're going to watch out for scare tactics. And this goes right back to that simple safety rule we talked about at the very beginning. Remember? Don't let a website rush you with fear.
I bet you've seen something like this before, right? A big, flashy warning pops up on your screen. Warning, your computer is infected. Or your account will be locked in 5 minutes. Call this number now.
It's all designed to make your heart jump, to make you panic and react without thinking.
Let me just say this as clearly as I can. Real companies do not threaten you with pop-ups like this. Ever. Your bank isn't going to do it. Nobody is. So, if you see one of these scary messages, what do? Nothing. Don't click it. Don't call the number. The safest thing to do is just close the entire browser.
And that brings us to check number 5. Look for real contact info. This one is simple. A legitimate business isn't afraid to be contacted. In fact, they want you to be able to reach them. Scammers, well, they'd rather hide.
So, poke around the website a little bit. Is there an About Us page? Or a contact page? Do you see a phone number? Or even a physical address? A real website should have these things. They should also have a link to their privacy policy. If you can't find any of that, that's a pretty big red flag.
And here's another quick thing you can do, especially if it's a shopping site you've never used before. Just open a new tab and search for the website name plus the word reviews. You'll find out pretty quickly if other people have had a bad experience with them.
But what happens if you've gone through the checklist and something just doesn't feel right? Well, you should always trust your instincts. If you're unsure, here's what you do. Step 1, stop typing immediately. Don't enter any more personal info. Step 2, close the browser tab. Just get out of there. And step 3, ask someone you trust, maybe a family member or a friend. There's absolutely no harm in getting a second opinion.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap. This is your simple safety checklist. First, check for that little padlock and HTTPS. Second, read the website address slowly and carefully. Third, look for poor design and mistakes. Fourth, ignore any kind of pressure or scare tactics. And maybe the most important one of all, trust your instincts. If it feels wrong, it probably is.
I really hope this little checklist helps you feel more confident and in control when you're online. Because that's all it is, really. It's just about slowing down a bit, paying attention, and trusting your gut. If this was helpful for you, please think about subscribing to Senior Tech Help. We've got lots more simple, stress-free guidance just like this. Thanks so much for watching, and stay safe out there.